Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you think your checkbook is just for paying the bills? Well, think again. In the next few minutes, we're going to completely change how you look at that humble checkbook. We're going to turn it from a simple payment tool into an absolutely powerful instrument for controlling and analyzing your business. All right, let's jump right in.
So let me just ask you straight up, what story is your checkbook telling? Because trust me, it's telling one. Every single check you write is a piece of a story, a clue about where your money is going, and more importantly, why. We're going to learn how to read that story, and even better, how you can start writing a better one for your business's future.
And this right here is the fundamental truth we're building on. This quote really says it all. Every single financial report, every forecast, every big decision you're going to make, it all traces back to the quality of the information you record at the source, the moment you write that check. You get this right, and everything else just falls into place.
Okay, so where do we begin? We start at the foundation, with the absolute non-negotiables. Think of these as the golden rules, the 5 essential pieces of information you have to, no exceptions, capture for every single transaction. Let's run through them real quick. You got the check number, the date, who you paid, the amount, and honestly, the most important one, what it was for. It's not enough to just write supplier. No way. You need the specifics, like invoice numbers. The goal is simple. Could your accountant, or even an auditor, look at this and understand it completely without having to ask you a single question? That's the level of clarity we're aiming for.
So, getting that data down is step one. But now, let's talk about organizing it, because that's where the real magic happens. We do that by building a check register, which is what turns all those individual payments into a story you can actually read.
And boom, this slide says it all. A check register isn't just a list, it's a summary. It's that one document that pulls everything together and gives you this at-a-glance dashboard of your company's cash flow. It answers that one critical question: where is my money really going?
And the payoffs for keeping a good register? They're huge. For starters, it makes balancing your bank account a total breeze. It gives you that nitty-gritty detail you need to make smart cuts and adjustments. And maybe most importantly, it builds a history you can use to look back and plan for the future. It's all about saving time and getting real financial control.
Of course, we all know the real world is messy. Business finance is never perfectly neat and tidy, right? Money doesn't just flow out in checks. Your bank account is a living, breathing thing, and you've got to account for all the other little movements that happen.
And here are the usual suspects. You got bank fees, automatic payments for loans, maybe a check from a customer that bounced. Ouch. Look, this stuff happens. A solid system just means you have a place to record these things the second they happen, so your books always match reality, not just the checks you've written.
Now, bank statements can be, well, a little confusing with their lingo. So let's clear up 2 big ones you'll see. A debit memo means the bank is taking money out. Think service fees. It reduces your balance. A credit memo means they're putting money in, maybe fixing an error. That increases your balance. Simple as that.
And speaking of mistakes, what happens when you mess up writing a check? The first instinct for so many people is to just rip it up, toss it, and forget it ever happened. Big mistake. That breaks your paper trail. There's a right way to do this, and it really shows you're running a professional operation. The process is super simple and clean. 1. Tear off the signature corner. That makes it impossible to cash. 2. Get a big pen or a stamp and write void right across the front. And 3, this is the most important part, file it. Put it right back in numerical order with your other records. Don't just throw it away.
So why do all that? Because, as this quote makes crystal clear, a voided check is part of your financial story. It's a supporting document. It explains why a check number is missing and proves it wasn't used for something sketchy. It keeps your records whole and clean.
Okay, so we know what to record and we know how to handle the weird stuff. Now let's talk about the actual systems you can use. Broadly speaking, you've got 2 choices: the old school manual way or the modern automated way.
A quick look here shows a pretty clear winner for most businesses these days. Manual systems like pegboards were genius for their time, but they're slow and they're practically begging for a human error to happen. Automated, computerized systems, they're just faster, way more flexible, and they save you from those repetitive tasks where all the costly little math mistakes tend to hide.
But, and this is probably the single most important thing to remember, no matter what system you use, garbage in, garbage out. The fanciest software on the planet can't fix bad information. The accuracy of what you get out is 100% dependent on the quality of what you put in, period.
But when your data is on point, oh man, the power of automation is incredible. Which brings us to this number, 5. What's that about? Well, with a good computerized system, one single correct entry can set off 5 or more actions all at once. It prints the check, updates your cash balance, posts to your general ledger, and on and on. That's a huge boost in efficiency.
All right, let's bring it all home. What's the big idea here? What's the one thing you should take away from all this? It's that having a good check writing system isn't about following a bunch of boring rules. It's about giving yourself real power and control over your business.
And here's a critical last reminder. Automation is an amazing tool, but it's not a replacement for your brain. Just because the computer's doing the heavy lifting doesn't mean you can zone out. Your own eyes on your own finances are still the most important control you have. I want to leave you with this fantastic analogy because it just hits the nail on the head. You would never manage a big project without actually walking the site yourself to see how things are going, right? Well, your books are no different. You need to walk through them regularly to really truly see what's going on with the financial health of your business. So, as we wrap up, just ask yourself this. Is your current system just a way to pay bills? Or is it a tool that's giving you the clarity and the control you actually need to make smart decisions and grow this thing? The power is there for the taking. Thanks so much for joining me.